Hello from the city of London. It is Sunday. I'm doing my Sunday chores. But you know what? Also, I opened my work computer and I started doing one task and it led to a bunch of other tasks. And I should not be doing this on the weekend, but what can I say? This is just this is a SEMA thing. Not perks, cons of being a bit of a workaholic, but it's all out of passion. Like, it's because I'm interested and I want to be working on these cool projects, but anyways, I got a bit too in the zone, but I'm stopping now because I'm like, let's weekend, because it's the weekend. Anyways, yeah, anyway, today's a bit of a me time day, reflection, catching up with myself, with my priorities and my life goals, because it's important to sit back and think, what am I actually doing with my life? Why am I doing what I'm doing? How is it helping me become the person I actually want to be, right? So I was talking to this girl, a friend from the year below in uni, and she asked for some advice because she has her applications coming up. And I'm realizing every time I find myself answering these questions, I'm like, oh my God, people need to optimize people, because we can help each other. Why do people not ask enough questions? Curiosity is absolutely key. There's so many things that are helpful when it comes to advice, but speaking with people who are experienced in a given field of expertise is so freaking valuable. And it can simplify life so much. Instead of overcomplicating things for yourself, sometimes you do have to do that, but sometimes the solution, or a much, much easier way of solving your doubts, is by talking to someone who knows it all. Literally, if you have a task, or there's a specific industry you want to get into, and that involves a lot of prep, so on and so forth, I think a great way to get started with all of that is to find someone who can help you navigate it all, who can guide you through it. Just set up a little call go on LinkedIn, find someone who's okay. Let's say you want to get into consulting, right? Find someone on LinkedIn who, within a close proximity, maybe at your university. Let's say this person graduated and is going to a great consulting firm, or they were the chair or the president of a really good consulting club at the university. They seem to have made a lot of impact, created a lot of value. Someone who's a credible source, essentially. And the reason I say close proximity is because there's an increased likelihood of them answering you, especially if you share a common factor, whether you live in the same area, or you're from the same country, or you went to the same university. Maybe you were part of the same society. And this is actually why it's really really important to always introduce yourself to people, because you can always mention that when you're reaching out, for example, I'm Sims. I told you that I liked your hat the other day, you know what I mean? And reach out. If you do meet people in person, reach out, reconnect and follow up as soon as possible before that memory fades away. But anyway, yeah, someone who you can get to, and obviously not everyone has access to this, so sometimes you will have to reach someone out to someone who's not in close proximity and hope for the best. But even doing that is better than doing nothing, right? I always say something is better than nothing. But my point was, connect to this person and tell them that you're interested in even literally just 15 minutes of their time, a small one-to-one call. Hop on a call, discuss I'd love to hear about your experience. I'm keen to learn and grow, expose myself to this environment, so on and so forth. And maybe they won't say yes in the way you expected, but maybe think of the rule of contrast. It's okay, if you ask someone if you're trying to sell 10 candy bars, and you tell them, okay, here, buy 10 candy bars, maybe they won't say yes to the 10, but they're more likely to say yes to 5, which, if that was initially great for you, but you put an upper number 10, then you get yourself a pretty good deal, right? Whereas if you had asked for 5 initially, then they're gonna be like, I'll just say take 2. Does that make sense? I don't know. If I didn't explain it well, you can always read Dr. Cialdini's book on the psychology of persuasion. Amazing book. I love it. So he explains it well. But rule of contrast, yeah. So if let's say the ideal situation is to like meet them, grab a coffee, right? But maybe you initially ask. So maybe you initially ask for that, and maybe they say no, but I can get on like a call with you, or I can like take your number and send you some detailed voice messages, something like that. But you can choose to avoid that and instead just directly ask for what you want. That's just another suggestion, because I don't think it's that deep, to be honest. In this case, like there's like if it's like a uni student, not like the CEO of a company, then they're way more likely to say yes, I think. And then if they say no, you can propose an alternative suggestion. Like, okay, how about I just give you, I take your number and you can just send me some voice messages when you're on the go, whatever suits you, or even just answer a text. Do you get my point? Yeah, anyway, reach out to people, ask them for advice, ask them and you can even prepare specific questions and then make it some sort of semi-structured interview where like you bounce off of the conversation, but you have some prompts to guide it. Do whatever suits you, but don't underestimate people. People can make life easier and tell you things that you wouldn't have known had you not spoken with them. There was this one module I had at uni that was me really challenging myself taking that module, because it wasn't something I had as much experience in, but it was something that I thought would be a great way to intellectually stimulate my brain and to learn a lot, which, you know, I'm paying to be at university, and there's experienced professors who I want to learn from, so why not do it? So I did it, and I was struggling with a piece of coursework, but I found someone who had done it and performed well, and so I got a lot of her input on how to perform well, and that made life a bit easier, you know what I mean? Because she had already been through that process, so she could then consult me on how to navigate the process myself in a way that is efficient. But yeah, my message essentially, again, just a random thought that I thought I would that I would dump onto this episode to convey this message to everyone. But make use of people, and also it's a great way to make friends, you know, like if you reach out to someone, also you're complimenting them. People are selfish, it's human nature, we like to be complimented, so they'll appreciate it, and then they'll be like, hey, like, why not help someone out? You know, for me at least, like I love to help. If I suffered through something, why should you suffer? Like, oh, my vacuum just fell, oops. But let's be nice people and make life easier for each other. So, yeah, I hope this gave you some serotonin in that people are valuable, people are important, also great for connections, networking, all of that jazz. Be a person who can reach out to people. Have a lovely day ahead, enjoy your Sunday, and take care.